Okay, welcome Multnomah Village, week 99, Justice for Qadira. Have no idea how long we're going to have to be out here to actually engage our public officials. I got a question today on our Facebook page from somebody asking if we've ever considered, ditching the PA and just talking directly to people. We're out in the community all the time. We're always dressed the same. You know who we are. If you want to talk to us about this, please do. But I don't know that that's the way to go, because we're trying to get our public officials' attention, and that's a very, very difficult thing to do because they just do what they want, period. They don't really care what their constituents have to say, and that's really why our country is falling apart. I want to stop, though, and just say that my faith in humanity is somewhat restored. Our therapy cat max is still missing, but I'm really encouraged by all the great people who have commented, texted. They're praying for him. They're looking for him, and that's a really cool thing to see. I hope he turns up. He just really vanished into thin air on 54th in Nevada, so hopefully he will be found. He could have been stolen, could have been eaten, could be hurt and injured somewhere. So hopefully Max will be found. But if not, I still appreciate the love and support that we've been getting for that. Here in Portland, our public officials are making a lot of claims about their plans to set up these concentration camps. I just read another article about Ted Wheeler's proposal, and apparently the new lady that's on the city council, this Pedersen, Jessica Vega Pedersen or whatever, she's all on board with this. I just want to say I want to be that person right now who is not going to be silent about this. This is a terrible idea. First of all, concentration camps, refugee camps, camps of any kind, they really don't work. But here in Portland, I think what's really missing from the conversation is just our public officials don't spend any time with the public or downtown really engaging with the homeless community. And I don't think they even understand the problem, or they wouldn't be proposing this, because you can't. It's a really poor idea to put 150 plus mentally ill, traumatized, possibly, seriously addicted people into some kind of camp. Although I know a lot of people in Portland want this, which is, it kind of turns my stomach. Me and my husband have been really shunned from the activist community on both sides. I guess we just, our politics don't match up, so they can't get with anything we're doing.
Yeah, we don't really fit into the narrative anywhere.
We don't fit into any boxes. But I see a lot of people pushing for this. And for those of you who want this, who are pushing for this, when the bloodbath starts, you're going to be partially responsible for that, for standing by and letting that happen. I'm going to be very vocal about this. This is not a good idea. There are many, many, many other better solutions to helping people. And none of these solutions should ever include, keeping somebody demoralized in, squalid conditions and then saying you're going to help them. There's so much vitriol for people who live in poverty, just in general, globally. It's like they've done something wrong. I've definitely felt that, just being part of, the working class, lower end, not a wealthy person. People just don't give you the same kind of respect they give people who have a lot of money. I don't know why the people with all the money get the respect, because they're the ones that are really damaging our world right now, because it's only their ideas that everybody pays attention to. Nobody's interested in hearing from people who are lower class, no matter what happened to them. I think that this rally is, proof positive we can all see. The reason that me and my husband can't get a word in edgewise is we just don't have enough money to get a word in edgewise. And so therefore nobody's going to talk to us, because that is the full measure of success, especially, you know, our public officials. Those are the people that they want to talk to, whose ideas they're interested in, just people who have money.
Well, that kind of leads us into there's a source for all the problems that we're seeing happening on the planet right now. And my wife and I feel like we have a good understanding of what it is. Unfortunately, it's not something, it's almost like a taboo subject. We can't really talk about the
use of money.
Well, yes, it's the foundation of our economy, which is basically how our world runs. And for some reason, you know, we did not base, or for a long time anyway, maybe this used to be different, like before before history, but we haven't ever really focused on caring for people or using that as the foundation for our civilization. That has never happened. And really, it is something that is not only possible, but it's something that we should be promoting and actually doing with each other. Because if we were to focus on the care of people instead of, you know, playing this Monopoly game, which is what we've actually wound up doing. We've actually wound up just playing Monopoly. It's a big game of Monopoly. There are winners, okay, and they've won
too.
They've got everybody going around the board on credit, but they're not going to completely win the game until they completely eradicate everybody else off the board. And right now, there's lots of talk about there being way too many people on the planet. This is a misnomer. This is just not the case. I mean, you can still fit the 8-9 billion people on the planet. Right now it's 7. I think it's decreasing by the minute because there are these plans out there. But you can still fit the majority of us in a landmass the size of Texas. So, folks, we are not too many people. And there's another thing, that this ideology about there being too many people on the planet, what it does not, I can tell you there's too many people on the planet that are not being properly cared for. And that's really where our understanding should be developing, not that there's too many people using stuff. Let me tell you, the universe, there was I can't remember which satellite imagery took it, but there's tens of billions. There was like 6% of space that was photographed by, I can't remember which telescope, but they found 3 billion other, you know, stars just in that little 6% of the space that they photographed. There's so much universe. There's so much life out there. It's not about there being enough to take care of all of the life here. That's why there is life here. As human beings, we should be focused on learning how to care for life, not doing anything else. So we are on this. We're playing this Monopoly game. It seems to be okay with everybody, but it's actually destroying not just humanity on this planet, but that is what is destroying the life on the planet. So if we could switch the focus, so we're talking about the foundation of our economy, from taking care of money to taking care of people, we would actually see the majority of problems that we are experiencing right now on this planet practically disappear.
Because that should be the goal, but what we've set up is every agency's goal is making and saving money, and that is even the goal of our media companies. I was just reading an article just the other day about the 15 billionaires that essentially own the entire media. So there's people that are directly responsible responsible for this narrative that we are all hearing every single day coming out of our television set and our radios. And so all this discord, disorganization, and fighting, unfortunately, it's being foisted upon us by people who really control the media. And I just want to say shame on the people that control the media because, your day is coming. You can't just hide this kind of stuff and think that things are going to be good for you. Because, knowing that they're hiding justice for Qadira, and they are hiding justice for Qadira, they like to not do anything about this because they want people to feel like, me and my husband are the problem and that they're not the problem, because they're really good at that. They're really good at making people look like the problem. I think back all the way back to when I was a kid and there was essentially no homeless people in Portland. Unbelievable that I can remember back that far. Well, it wasn't that long ago. I'm only 46. But, why did we allow this to go on? Well, it was a tactic. Allowing people to just sleep in the street was a good way to make them not look valuable. Now, rounding them all up and putting them into camps, especially as people are flooding over the border, well, these camps are going to have to be funded for forever, and there's no way you can properly service anybody in that condition. It's just not possible because you're demoralizing them right out the gate by throwing them into a filthy, dirty camp when there are so many better options. And I can only imagine the chaos that's going to result in these places. There will be fights. People will end up dead. There'll be massive overdoses. And then they'll just, of course, keep, rounding people up and putting them in them. And the rest of us will be quiet while we quietly try to keep ourselves above water. And, well, if you lose your home or whatever, then you'll be taken to one of these places, too, because this has just become very much acceptable, not just in the United States, but a lot of countries that are dealing with this type of immigration, which, this stuff is happening a lot. It's happening because of war, and then it's happening because of low wages and all these slave factories that have been set up by the corporations, which, we've just come to accept over time. I grew up in the 80s, and I remember, the dust up over Nike and the child labor. You feel pretty, you feel like your hands are tied as an American. Like, what can you really do about, this corporate behavior of running slave plantations? Not much, but, there is something the media can do. But the people who own the media, they love this slave model. So there's all this migration happening all the time because people can't have opportunities where they are, even though there are opportunities where they are. Lots of people who live in poverty today literally work 18 hours a week. 18 hours a day. A lot of these people are working all day long.
They're just not getting paid for it.
In first world countries, people are becoming homeless because they're just getting completely demoralized because they don't want to have to live this way because they see somebody else not having to live that way, or somebody who has learned the money game better than them, so they're actually climbing the ladder while maybe they're just spinning their wheels, because a lot of people do spin their wheels in the money game. They never get anywhere, or they end up with nothing. It's not a good way to run a planet, especially as the population grows. So, and if the goal is always making and saving money, which we know it is here in Portland, because they respond to this protest otherwise. They can't respond to the protest because, we know who's involved. So responding to the protest means, possibly losing a lot of money. And
that's ultimately what, that's the major block for getting justice for Qadira, is the fact that people who have a lot of money were involved in her abuse,
right,
and covering it up.
And people who have a lot of power What I think
It's anonymous. I mean, people who have a lot of money, they have a lot of influence on society, and this is a big problem because these people who have invested in this monopoly game, I don't think that they actually see people anymore. I think all they really see is money and dollar signs, and people have been completely objectified. They're products now.
there's the saying,
Products to be used by the people in power, and we can be disposed of just as easily.
Yeah, there's the saying, if it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense.
That's a very true statement.
And I can see why, Mayor Wheeler and certain people, they're gravitating towards these concentration camps because these things are going to be cash cows. The federal government, the taxpayers, we're going to be funding these till kingdom come because there's no way that, like I said, people can actually get services there, but there's a lot of people that you can funnel through there.
Yeah, there's no end in sight to the homeless problem because it's making money. It's becoming an industry. We have continued to collect money for this issue, and the problem is just getting worse. That's just like cancer. A lot of the problems that we see in the medical industry, they never really get solved, even though there are solutions out there. They're making money, so there's no incentive to actually heal or eradicate any of the diseases, and that adds to the proliferation of drugs, basically, because.
If you're not using the illegal drugs, you're probably using the legal ones now. Everybody's getting addicted to something.
Yeah, and they just want to manage your symptoms. They don't want to cure you because that's going to stop making money for them. So everything, if we just follow the money everywhere, it's time for us as a race of beings to start taking ourselves seriously and to actually focus on what matters, and that really is caring for people. We cannot fix people problems with money. We can only fix people problems with healthy, caring people who are willing to care for other people. That's the only way we can fix people problems. But that's not what your public officials, that's not what your leaders or the people in power want to do.
And why would they want to do it? I just saw that Beyonce and Jay-Z, they brought themselves a $200 million mansion in California. Again, the money worshipers, they've already decided that there's never going to be enough for them. So they have to store up, they have to store up all this stuff just for themselves. So if you listen to, members of the World Economic Forum, depopulation, it makes sense for them because then they don't have to share. And they need enormous amounts of everything. Again, this is why our daughter can't get justice. If they were to give her even one shiny penny, that would be too much for them. Even though she's got all these health problems and they've caused all this chaos in our family and pain and suffering and everything, they can't even give away one shiny penny. They can't even say sorry. And our public officials, they support that.
They don't want to be held accountable in any way, shape, or form.
And they also don't.
The lack of accountability for the people in power and our public officials, that's a big problem in our society, just all over the place.
Like right now, nobody wants to be held accountable for the mess on this planet. All these people living in poverty, all these people suffering, all these wars, blood all over the walls. What exactly, are we trying to achieve as an actual race of beings together here collectively?
I'll show this. Portland Street Response. This is for people who need help, mental health, resources available. It's a really great program. It's not the cops. People like you guys.
Thank you,
Great.
Lemonade Stand Man. We will take that into consideration.
I've actually
You don't want to give me the card?
I've actually tried to use Portland Street Response before to get some help with somebody, and they didn't help them.
Thanks a lot, Lemonade Stand Man.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna be out here. We're gonna be out here as long
It
as
doesn't
it
work
takes.
though, but thank you. I tried to use it.
Do you guys want me to call for you?
You can.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and call them. You should call them
I don't
right now.
think they'll come for us though, because have you been downtown? Have you seen the people
Yeah,
nodding
I
out?
have
You should.
My son was there
You
last
should give
week.
them a call right now. As a matter of fact.
Let them go downtown.
My son went
You should
downtown.
call
Somebody was taking
them
a
right
dump
now.
in front of the Apple store last week.
You should give them a call right now.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, I'm.
Put down the microphone. It's too loud.
No, I'm sorry, sir. I'm not going to put down the microphone. We're going to be out here as long as it takes to get justice for our daughter.
You guys
So-
aren't talking about your daughter. You're talking about mental
We
health.
are talking about
Well,
all
we're
kinds
talking
of
about our
things,
daughter.
but it all leads
But we
back to
haven't
what
we haven't
happened to our
gotten
daughter.
justice for our daughter.
So,
But I mean,
Justice for downtown. You guys.
I just want the people who are involved with covering up this crime to be held accountable, but you clearly don't. You probably support concentration camps, sweeping people off streets, killing people. Okay, move. Well, I mean, because you're standing in front of my camera, and I don't have a lot of time. I'm a working person.
Me too.
Okay, well, why do you have to be rude?
Free speech.
Oh, I know, but do you have to stand directly in front of the camera while I'm trying to film?
That's okay. You can do whatever.
Yeah, I do, because I've been fighting for my daughter for 16 years and I haven't gotten
What's
justice.
the definition of a psychopath is? Something over and over expecting.
I don't.
Well, you think that I'm expecting a different result because I live in a country called America, where I'm supposed to have rights. I want the people who are covering up this crime to be held accountable. Do you? Do you want the people who covered up this crime to be held accountable?
I would love for it to go the right way.
Well, it's not going the right way.
So can I ask you guys? You guys
Sure.
come out here every week, right?
Yeah.
We're up here every week.
Yep.
And you guys change your method at all, or is
No, we don't change our method because it's called commitment and it's called faith.
Yeah. Do you know anything about commitment or faith?
I'm sure
Are you even in a stable relationship?
absolutely.
Really? Because
No,
I
that's
don't
good.
see many people on this planet doing that. So,
What's that have to do with
well, I'm just saying a lot of people
Well,
don't seem to understand
I feel
commitment
like
or
you're
faith.
up here harassing us, telling
Yeah.
us that we're crazy. This guy's telling us that we're crazy and that we need. That's just what you said. And
Yeah,
this is
you're
why
bringing us to Portland Street Repents. Yeah.
You're suggesting that we call these people and that these people need us, right? We need these people. That's
We
what
need
you're
Portland
saying,
Street
right?
Response to come talk
You're
to
saying
us.
we're mentally ill, right? That's what you're saying. As a matter of fact, you just called us psychopaths,
Yeah,
right?
you said
I
that.
ask you the definition of it.
Okay, well, why are you even bringing up psychopaths?
Right.
Because I'm
Kathy?
curious if you guys recognize the pattern that I'm seeing.
Are you worried about what happened here and my daughter being injured for her entire life?
She was
and you
abused
being
and it
under
was
the rule. Hold
completely
on.
covered
You
up.
are literally under the rule of people who tried to kill a child who are
is a
now
wonderful
setting up
resource.
concentration camps for your fellow citizens. Does that concern you?
Curious, why?
Does that concern you? Yes or no? Does it? Do you want the concentration camps?
I don't want the
Do you want people to be murdered by your public officials?
Where is your daughter in all this? You guys
What?
come up every
What?
week and talk about this.
She's waiting for a proper police investigation and some help,
Why? You guys
An
but she's not
appropriate
getting any
response.
and an
That's
appropriate
where she's at.
response.
That's where she's
Do you
at.
want her to come out in the streets so you can abuse her some
I
more?
don't know. I want to talk to her because she probably has a better account
Well,
of
we're
that.
waiting. When we get a proper response and we get our day in court,
You
and we
might
get our
actually hear
chance to
from her.
talk about this, you'd hear from her.
No,
we
we
did
didn't
not.
have a day in
No,
court.
we had a rigged trial where these people said
What
that
do you
they
know?
were
What do
playing
you
naked.
know about
Yeah.
what happened in the courtroom?
Yeah.
Your court case.
Oh, really?
Really? And what did you
Really?
find out?
Did you know
Did they
that
admit
child
to
abuse is a
chi-
crime?
abusing my child?
Tell me, how did a case of child abuse? No.
Well, then how are you?
How did a case of child abuse
End up in
get-
civil court.
Yeah, end up in civil court.
Would you like to answer that question?
How did it
Yeah, how did it end in civil court?
How did it happen twice that the courts ruled against you guys?
Because
Because
maybe
they're
they're corrupt.
Because they're corrupt.
Yeah, they didn't rule against us.
everybody
They
is
didn't rule
corrupt.
against us. This was
Absolutely
a
everybody's
fraudulent
corrupt.
trial, which is why we're trying to get an investigation.
You can't adjudicate a case of child abuse in civil court.
You can't.
Because child abuse is a crime. The police know that. As a matter of fact, the police have already categorized it as a crime.
Yeah, we
They
have
did,
paperwork.
but they refuse. They refuse. I'm going to be okay. Don't worry, it's not going to touch me.
I don't want you to get hit by the bus. Like,
No, I'm not going to get hit by the
watch
bus.
your head. He's trying to come through here.
No,
I want you guys
it's
to get
fine.
hit. I'm trying to look out for you.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
That's a safety.
If you
We
if
would
you
like
really were
this
looking
to
out
get
for us,
properly
you
investigated
would
by
be on the
police.
phone to your mayor,
Yeah.
and you would be asking why this is
Yeah, and he won't, because he's a psychopath. He's setting up concentration camps to get rid of all the people that he's left lying in the road. Oh, so Ted Wheeler's not a psychopath?
I'm talking about the definition of
The people who are running, oh no, they're the ones that are doing the same thing over and over to the point where millions are now suffering and dying on this planet. That's your leadership.
96 weeks.
99 weeks we've been out here. Because you know why? People don't do their job in this state, which everybody here with eyeballs can see. That's why Portland is a filthy hellhole, and my son goes down and sees people pooping in the streets. So, and this is helping because we're having an actual conversation instead of denying and pretending.
To our community. That's what we're doing. We're trying to communicate to our community.
And here's the thing. You could be respectful
Is it
and let us
one-sided?
finish up. You could,
Is it
or you can
one-sided?
keep standing here because you're not really improving
Why do you think
anything.
we're having a conversation right now?
Because
Why do you mean
talk to the microphone really
Here's
loud,
the
it'd be a
thing.
little bit different,
Here's the thing.
right?
Here's the thing. You do not support justice for our daughter, so I would ask you to leave because you do not support justice for my daughter. You are totally on board with the fact that we were subjected to discrimination in the courts and a fraudulent, what I would call literally sedition, because you can't use the courts for your own needs. That's not what this country was founded on.
Okay, so
But I love that you're getting on my camera so all the neighbors can see you, because this is the face of somebody that does not support people of
Jim
color.
Fogarty, thank you, Jim Fogarty.
Vince
Thank
Fogarty,
you.
he's here to tell you that he absolutely
Let's talk about the
thinks
actual
that
definition of a psychopath. It's a person affected by chronic mental disorder with abnormal or violent social behavior.
Yep, don't have any of that. Don't have. No, it's not abnormal.
No, this is called freedom of speech.
This is called freedom of speech.
That's what this is called.
If you don't
This is
like
called
it,
a protest.
it's called freedom of speech. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I don't
Thank you.
really care.
No, he can have his opinion.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You are absolutely free to your
You
opinion.
know what's funny is the mentally ill people and the drug addicts downtown are actually kinder than you, but you know why? Privileged white man, you're standing there in your privilege telling two brown people to get off your corner. This is the image that Multnomah Village is building for itself all over the city. You know what? A lot of people actually like us, and a lot of people appreciate people that fight for their kids. Yeah, well, and because a lot of people in this city actually want to see people swept into camps and things like that.
I don't represent that.
But I think you do. I think you do. I think you do.
I respect your opinion, but
So, I mean, the thing is you guys can play your little game, but you don't have the commitment that we have. Yeah, keep showing them that card. That doesn't work. It doesn't work, and they're not going to come here. But
Okay.
you're welcome to call
Okay, here,
them.
let's see what Jim Fogarty has to say here.
Okay.
Yeah, tell everybody.
Touch it?
Yeah.
I think that this is not an okay movement for what they're doing here because they put down the community, and it's disrespectful to others in your community to talk down to them. So if we can put away the microphones and have a respectful conversation, we should do that.
I've been trying to have a respectful conversation with my public officials for 16 years.
And I've been trying to have a
They won't
respectful
have one with
conversation
me.
You guys for 99 weeks,
And
you know
you,
what happens every
99
week.
weeks.
Oh no, the first time that we met, actually, this guy came and set up a lemonade stand right where we are to discuss. No, we were here for so many weeks
Here's the
before
thing,
you
Jim.
knew where we were showing up. You knew at the time we were showing up. You set up here. No, we don't own this.
I just, you know what I think is funny? Is it's really cool. Yeah, you know what I think is funny is, again, here we see a white community circling around a black man, trying to hang him on a cross. Okay? You want to sweep him off the corner. You don't want him
We
here.
can have a conversation after our rally.
It's
if you
very
wanna- If you want
interesting.
to sit down and have a conversation.
Yeah, we'd like to close it
after
up.
our rally.
We actually were going to have a short rally rally today, and you're making it so it's longer.
It's my fault.
Well, I mean, because you're standing here and you're not serious. You don't want justice for our daughter. You don't want to
You
know
don't
more
care
about
about
this.
what happened to her.
You don't care about
the
this.
corruption in your medical system.
And here's the thing,
or
Jim.
in your court
Here's the thing,
system,
Jim.
or with your
You're
police system.
You're welcome to set up your own counter protest to protest for playing naked games with kids, for abusing kids. Lots of people want to abuse kids. Lots of adults. Yes, I do.
I don't
yes,
know.
I
You're-
do.
you're sitting up
you
here and you're giving us a hard
absolutely.
time.
You told me you read this case
Yeah,
and
you
you
are
said
giving
it was
us a hard
fine
time.
what
You're
these
standing
people
in
did.
front of our camera.
You think it was okay
You're
that
telling
they
us
got?
that we need mental health help.
Yeah.
You told us that we were
White privilege.
psychopaths.
Do your white privilege. It's so embarrassing for people who actually want to say that Black Lives Matter and people of color matter and equity and all this stuff that everybody says everybody's welcome in America. But the proof
No, we do not
is,
think that we're more important
when you,
than anybody.
how are we more important? Our daughter hasn't gotten justice.
You're actually
Our
being,
daughter hasn't
you're
got-
actually
yeah.
being racist right now.
Yeah,
You don't even
you're
know
being
it.
so racist.
This is
You're being
unconscious
so
bias.
racist.
I know
Yes, it is.
you wouldn't.
You're
You
so
wouldn't.
racist. You wouldn't
But you
understand.
do realize that you are a white man.
Yeah.
Okay, in a
And you are
white
exerting your
community,
privilege.
and you're just
Okay.
exerting your privilege.
Yeah, it's really gross.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
But
That's cool though.
but
That is a cool
again,
van.
there's a lot of
That's a cool van. Yeah, no, we
we're
can't agree
talking
on things.
about. I mean, I guess the president says white supremacy is the biggest issue we're having. Well, here it is, in a nutshell.
Oh, whatever they're doing,
In a nutshell.
their daughter, but they're not talking about their daughter.
Yeah,
We
I
do talk about
my
our daughter if you listen.
You won't even let us talk.
I will let you guys talk.
You won't even let us talk today. Can we finish our rally? Because we know your position. You don't want justice for a daughter.
Wait, so
you
you're saying
believe
we
it's
don't know your position?
no.
No,
We know your
you
position.
seem like
You
because
said
you're
you
saying
don't
that
want
you're-
justice for our daughter.
You're
You
not.
think making games with
We don't
kids
even
are
talk about our
acceptable.
daughter, is what you're saying.
No, I'm saying you guys like to. I've noticed this because I've
We can.
looked this up.
We're welcome to do it. The public officials do what they want.
What you guys do before you just interrupt and talk over everybody, like
I can talk all. Hey, you do what you want, bro. You do no.
Okay, let's listen.
So let's listen. Let's use
Sure.
Here, come on.
I don't need a microphone. I don't need a microphone.
Okay.
Because I'm talking to you.
Why can't you move to the side for viewers? You can stand right there so they can see the conversation.
Is that better?
No, see, you're just rude.
Just disrespectful.
You're rude, you're
so you're talking
disrespectful.
about us being disrespectful.
Yeah, you're just being
But
disrespectful.
you're being disrespectful.
And in fact, you could reach out to us at another time, but you're standing here being disrespectful.
Really?
We're not
When?
going to
When did you
accept
try?
the burning of our child.
But where?
Where?
On Facebook.
Yeah, I
Never-
don't
never
remember
talked to you once.
talking to you on Facebook.
I
Nope.
reached out. You guys didn't reach back.
No,
When?
I've
Where?
talked to. I always reach back. I
Oh,
always
last
reach
year.
back.
That's it. You just tried the one time and that was it?
Oh, see, here I am.
What do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about how I should accept the burning and torture of my daughter? Because black people did that.
not what I'm talking
You know,
No,
whip the
that's not
black
what I'm
man,
talking about.
hang him from a tree, and tell him to accept it. That's what you're saying.
That's not what I'm
And you're
saying.
also,
That is
you just said to me that you felt that what these people did was acceptable. We had our day in court.
Yeah,
we
that's what
had
you
our
said.
day
You
in
said
court.
we had our day
It's
in court.
fine.
You guys
Right?
said
It's
not
fine.
how they did.
Even
No, we
though,
didn't have
no,
day
we
in court.
didn't. It was
No.
a fraudulent trial.
No, that's not. No. That's not how the American justice system
Yeah.
is not supposed to work.
Why do you want the system to be broken? Why do you want to be ruled by people who hate people and want to kill people and who want to kill children?
No, we're not. We're making observations.
Yeah.
Feel about, and I'm just
And you live in a filthy hellhole.
put down trans people.
No,
No.
we don't put down trans
No, we
people.
didn't.
You guys,
How do we put
How?
down trans people?
How do we put down trans people?
Really? You're
You're-
putting down white people?
How?
put down white
How
How are we putting down white people? You know,
How are we putting down white people?
I have
people who don't agree with you.
what is because
You're saying
if
that
you don't
you're
if,
putting these people down, but you're not explaining how
Yeah,
you're putting
how?
these people down.
specifically, how are we putting down white people?
What I'm saying is you misrepresent the opinions of people that stand before you. I never said that.
You didn't stand up for me.
You
didn't
said
st- you-
stand before us.
No, I stand before you, and here I tell you my
Mm-hmm.
opinion on, hey, what's going on, and then you say that, which is wrong, that I want to string you guys up.
I think you do.
I don't.
I think you do. I think a lot of people in this community do. Your friends.
I'm talking.
You say you don't like us.
Yeah, we just had a group of kids come out and tell us that they didn't like us. They were white kids.
Okay, that's your opinion.
It's always
Certainly.
yeah. You don't
but-
have to like me,
Yeah.
I know you don't.
but I don't come and get
No,
your
no,
way.
I don't. I never said
It's not that I don't like you. It's
I never
just
said
you're
that.
racist.
I mean, I never said that.
You're racist. I'm trying to help you. I want you to not be
We're out here
racist.
trying to help the community.
We're actually out here trying to help
That's it.
the
Do you
people
realize
running this
that
place.
here in this
You need
part
this
of the
message.
community,
You
it's
need
about
this
98%
message. Absolutely.
white. Did you know that? It's a census.
It's like that for
It's
a
a census
reason.
fact. So there is a lack of diversity in here, and we understand why what happened to us happened to us.
We were
Because we were targeted because we are people of color, and this is majority white, which is why nothing's getting done about it. What happened to our daughter?
They're white people that are good-hearted and kind of.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I know a lot of good-hearted, kind white people.
But that's not
you,
what we
but I mean,
experienced. That's not what we're experiencing.
You have a lot you
These
need to
people
figure out.
abused our daughter.
Yeah, you
Okay,
should
and
call
it's
them for
being
yourself.
covered up.
You
It's being
should call
covered
them
up.
for yourself.
And just
See, that's
here,
what
let's
I'm
see.
saying. You're going to tell me I don't like trans people when you're over here telling black people to shut up. That's really interesting. You tell that to any minority.
You don't need the spice. You don't need the spice.
Touch my stuff.